that you need to digest. I don't have the data here, but you can digest with the exonuclease and see if your circRNA is not digested, then you can say, oh, this is not digested with exonuclease, so that doesn't have 5' or 3' end. So you can confirm, okay, this is a actual circular RNA, right? Then if it is a circle, it can bind to microRNAs or RNA binding proteins to regulate gene expression. Here what we looked at is binding to microRNAs, and we found predicted the microRNAs. Those have complementarity. You know how microRNAs work? No? Okay, in the next class we'll see that. So microRNAs basically have seed sequences. They bind to a target RNA and regulate. If it is mRNA, it will regulate the translation or stability. But if it is a circular RNA, it cannot do anything because it doesn't have 5' cap or the tail. And if it is not perfectly complementary, it cannot degrade the circRNA. But if it is binding, the circular RNA will hold that. So basically a sponge. So if the circRNA binds to microRNA, microRNA cannot go to the target to suppress their expression. So in other way, it is inducing expression of the target gene of the microRNA by stopping microRNA action, basically. So we predicted what are the microRNAs it is binding, and then from the prediction we also see how many microRNAs are expressed in beta cells, because all predicted microRNAs are predictions. That is from the whole database. Everything may not be expressed. So if something is not expressed in beta cell, they will not do anything, right? So we need to see which microRNA are expressed in the beta cell, and then we also looked at which microRNA are functional. Even if something is expressed, that doesn't mean they are functional, right? So even if I am here, I am not part of this university, right? I am here, just here for today, right? So that way some microRNAs are expressed just there, but they may not be functional. They are just transcribed, but they may not do anything to the system. So there is a database called MITRBase where you can find functional microRNAs, and here we used MITDB and TargetScan. In MITDB also you can find some functional microRNAs which have known targets, like validated targets for those microRNAs. And then from this prediction and islet expression, there were 4 microRNAs. We looked at them. There were no change in the high glucose, low glucose. But microRNAs, they target different genes. As I said, from MITRBase, we could find many targets, but some of the targets you see here, they are having validated function, like they're validated for the microRNA target. And one of the target you see here, like P10, that is targeted by 2 microRNAs, which are targeted by our circRNA. So it is high chance that these 2 microRNA might regulate the target gene. So you cannot test all of them, but bioinformatically you can narrow down to few to see which one is the functional one. And then in the high glucose, low glucose, we also did sequencing to find which genes are getting overexpressed or downregulated. And from the sequencing also we had the circular RNA data. And as I said, like the circRNA, if circRNA goes off, it will inhibit microRNA, right? And that will lead to upregulation in mRNA, right? Because microRNA is an inhibitor and circular RNA is inhibiting the inhibitor. So it is basically a promoter for the gene expression if it goes through microRNA. So that way we wanted to see what are the genes. We cannot find out all the genes. So these are the like 4 targets here. So in the previous slide we showed those 4 and P10 is one of them that is targeted by 2 microRNAs. And then in high and low glucose, you see only P10 is significantly downregulated, not the other 4. Okay. And here we used gapmer for the circular RNA. In the morning I said the circular the gapmers are like siRNA, but they are more specific and more stable. So you can silence the circular RNA by targeting the junction sequence. Other sequence are same as your mRNA. If you put the gapmer at any other position, it will degrade your mRNA also. So the gapmer has to target the backsplice junction, जो junction sequence head to tail splicing के बाद जो junction sequence है, you should put your gapmer there so that you can silence and then see what is happening to the target. So as I said, circRNA is a positive regulator of gene expression, inhibitor of microRNA. If you silence your circRNA, what will happen to the target? It will suppress, right? That is what we believe, and we wanted to see that here, and we saw there is a decrease. So that means our hypothesis is correct, like the way we filtered out, okay, so many genes are targeted, this many are expressed, this many are actually functionally validated, and out of 4 only 1 is responding, and with silencing you see the decrease in the P10 expression. And the when we say something is down regulated, that means 2 things. Okay, when we see something at the protein level it is down, that tells that like either the translation is down or the mRNA stability is down, right? So 2 ways you can reduce some gene expression, right? Stability and translation. How you can access translation? Anyone knows polysome, polyribosome? No? Okay, so how translation happens is your ribosomes move on the mRNA. So if you have more number of ribosomes sitting on any mRNA, you will have more translation because the efficiency will be more. If you have one ribosome sitting, it will be synthesizing one protein at a time. If you have 10 ribosomes sitting, you will have 10 proteins synthesizing at one time. So that way you can say how much translation is happening. So in this case, microRNA inhibits translation, right? So we wanted to see if that is the case, if you silence your circRNA, the microRNA activity should be more, that should inhibit the translation, right? What you see on the left side is when you put them on the sucrose gradient, your cell fraction like lysate, the more ribosome associated RNA you do the centrifugation, the heavier the ribosome and the mRNA fraction are, they will go down, okay, settle down, and whatever is free they will remain in the top based on the gradient like heaviness, they will be arranged, and then when you put them into the system to read the RNA amount, so you will see a graph like this. So this is like your free monosomes or mRNP fractions without the ribosomes, and then towards the end you will have RNA that are associated with multiple ribosomes. And when we silence the circular RNA, what you see is the P10 mRNA, that is our target, and you see a leftward shift. Okay, so when something shifts towards left means it has less number of ribosomes sitting, so that it is lighter. Okay, so that way we can say, okay, this mRNA is not translating that efficiently, so or the translation is down. Okay, then the other thing, as we saw mRNA change also, we wanted to see if the mRNA stability is also affected or not. Like microRNA doesn't always change the stability, but sometimes it does. Okay, so in this case, how will you see the stability of any mRNA? Any idea? Sorry, हाँ टी हैप कैसे कैलकुलेट? कोई भी जीन हमेशा ट्रांसक्राइब होता रहता है, राइट? डजंट स्टॉप. It can be induced or suppressed, but at a basal level it is always getting transcribed. So if you stop the transcription, suppose imagine the water tank in the rooftop, you are putting water from the pump and you're also the tap is open, so जितना भर रहा है उतना नीचे से निकल रहा है, so you have a balance. So जितना transcription हो रहा है उतना degrade भी हो रहा है, so you have a certain number of RNA molecules in the cell. But if you stop the pump, no water is coming, and you see, and your tap is open already, right? So you are losing your water, right? So the same way you are losing the RNA because of the degradation, because nothing is stable. They have to be degraded at certain after some time. So they are degraded, but there is no synthesis. You can stop the transcription and then see how long one RNA is staying in the system. So that one way, one drug is called actinomycin D. There is another one called triptolide. So those block the transcription, and you look at your target RNA after certain time, like after half an hour, 1 hour, 2 hour. Like you said, the MIC, that is very important for the cell cycle. Okay, that half life is I think it's 15 minutes or 30 minutes. Within 30 minutes, the RNA is gone. Okay, but the housekeeping genes, GAPDH or 18S, so they are very long lasting RNA. They will stay in the system for quite some time. But which RNA, those are important for cell cycle, like that thing, they are very unstable. But on an average, like you can say 8 hour mRNA half life is 8 hours. Like in 8 hours, you will have half of the RNA. And in this case, what we did, we stopped the transcription, look at the target gene at different time points. Okay, and here you see the half life of our target gene, the P10, and there is a change with the silencing. So that tells that the when we are